India has a strange petrol pricing problem. Every time you fill petrol, half the money goes to tax. Today, we'll break down exactly that. Why petrol in India is so expensive and how that affects everything you buy, even the stock market. Hi everyone, welcome back to Behind the Headlines, a series where we cut through the clutter around trending news and show how it really affects you. But before we begin, we have also made a detailed video on how India's affordable housing segment is broken, highlighting problem statements and the role of GST cuts on the same. So do check it out, link is in the description. Let's get started.
Profit sharing by companies benefits need to be passed on to consumers.
In 2010, petrol in many metro cities cost around 52 rupees per litre. By 2015, it averaged around 60.50 rupees. In 2020, the amount was around 80.43 rupees. And today, petrol price ranges around 100 to 107 rupees per litre in cities like Mumbai, Bengaluru, Chennai, Hyderabad and Kolkata. Now that's more than the petrol prices in Bangladesh, Pakistan, China and even the United States. So the question arises, why is petrol so expensive? Reason 1. India has deregulated its petrol pricing. You see, by the time petrol reaches you, it has already passed through a maze of taxes, currency shifts and policy decisions. And India doesn't subsidize petrol anymore. So this might bring fiscal efficiency and equity gains, but still taxes remain, import dependency remains, and the buffer provided by the government and OMCs is greatly reduced, resulting in consumers paying full price. Reason 2. Import dependency and currency risk. India imports around 89% of its crude oil. That means we are at the mercy of global crude prices. So any jump in Brent crude due to war, supply cuts or OPEC decisions immediately hits India's oil bill. And this problem gets worse when the rupee weakens. In June 2025, the rupee dropped to 86 rupees per dollar. So oil priced in dollars became even more expensive in rupees. Reason 3. Taxation and hidden surcharge. You see, in India, over 50 to 60% of your petrol price is tax. This includes central excise plus state VAT. And petrol is kept out of GST, so states charge their own VAT without any standardization process. In some places like Delhi or Maharashtra, VAT alone is over 30%. In FY25, fuel taxes contributed nearly 8% of total government revenue. This highlights why petrol prices in India rarely go down, even when global crude oil prices drop. Both the center and states heavily depend on this revenue stream, making them reluctant to cut excise duty or VAT significantly. See, the reason is simple. Fuel taxes are a reliable and easy to collect source of income for the government. Reason 4. Geopolitics and supply shocks. After the Ukraine conflict, Russia now supplies over 1/3 of India's oil imports at discounted rates, saving the country more than $10 billion in 2 years despite US pressure. Now this has helped keep domestic fuel prices stable, but any forced retreat from Russian oil due to sanctions could add around $11 billion to India's annual oil bill. This could drive up fuel prices and inflation. So India's fuel costs are now directly tied to global geopolitics. Expensive petrol acts like an inflation bomb. Fuel prices go up, logistics gets costlier, small businesses cut margins and consumers have less disposable income, so they cut back on consumption. In fact, the World Bank estimates that India loses up to 2% of GDP annually due to high energy costs and related inflation. High petrol prices ripple through the stock market as well. Here's how. Number 1. Inflation and RBI policy. Rising fuel costs push up inflation. Now to control it, RBI is forced to raise repo rates, making loans costlier for businesses and reducing liquidity. Now this triggers FII exit. Foreign investors pull their money out when they see crude oil rising, rupee weakening and India's trade deficit widening due to expensive oil imports. The result? Markets turn volatile, FIIs cut exposure and defensive sectors rise. Number 2. Sector-specific winners and losers. Autos take a hit. As fuel becomes expensive, people delay buying cars and bikes. Now this hurts companies like Maruti Suzuki and Hero MotoCorp. But it's good news for EV makers as buyers shift to electric alternatives. So Ola Electric and Exide benefit from this. The aviation and logistics industry suffers. Airline stocks like Indigo and SpiceJet, along with delivery companies like Delivery, see their fuel bills rise. Since fuel is a major cost, their profit margins shrink quickly. Oil explorers gain. When crude prices rise, exploration companies like ONGC and Oil India directly benefit from higher oil prices. On the other hand, OMCs face a squeeze. Oil marketing companies like Indian Oil, BPCL and HPCL get caught in the middle. If the government caps retail fuel prices to protect consumers, these companies absorb the losses and their margins suffer. Even financials and insurance companies slow down. High inflation means people borrow less and postpone big purchases like cars or homes. So this weakens the overall demand for loans and drags down banks and NBFCs. So the next time petrol hits 105 rupees, don't just check your wallet, check your portfolio too. Petrol is expensive in India not just because of global oil, it's expensive because of taxes. And because we haven't restructured how fuel pricing works. Until we do, you'll keep feeling the heat at the pump and in the markets. Well, that's it for this episode of Behind the Headlines. We hope this helped you gain a useful perspective behind petrol prices. So let us know your thoughts in the comments below. I am Maharshi and I'll see you next time with another story that deserves a deeper look. Until then, stay informed, stay sharp.